Hey, I'm Kazuharu, also known as Kaz or Kax, and this is the start of my advanced one-shot speedrunning tutorials. In this video, I'll cover the various multi-binds used in the run, which are binds that do two things at once. After learning these, you should be able to watch a world record run and understand what's going on for the most part. This video will cover how to set up the essential multi-binds and their general use cases. The only bind I won't cover in this video is the Ultra Menu button. That bind and the Ultra Menu trick itself will be covered in the next video instead. Lastly, there will also be a third video similar to my beginner any percent guide, except instead of being beginner strats, it will cover world record level strats, for those who want to know everything there is to know. Alright, let's get started. First of all, before you start learning these, you should press F1 to bring up the rebinding screen. And just make sure that the only buttons that are currently here are buttons that you're actually using. So if there's extra buttons here that you don't use, then get rid of them. This just makes it easier to manage your list of binds going forward. Additionally, I'm going to note that trying to learn all of these multi-binds at the same time can be overwhelming. The buttons I'm currently holding down are all the multi-binds. I'm going to split them into three categories. First, I'm going to show the direction select buttons. Then the inventory select button, which is just its own thing. And then lastly, the menu direction keys. So the first buttons I'm going to show are Upselect and Downselect. To bind these, press F1 to bring up the rebinding screen. And for Upselect, you want to bind this button to Up and also Action. And for Downselect, you want to bind it to Down and also Action. I personally use F for Upselect and V for Downselect. Once you've created your buttons, just hit Accept. What these buttons allow you to do is to move the menu cursor and select the option at the same time. For example, pressing Upselect here will select the light bulb. And pressing Downselect here would select the crowbar. This button is mostly used for fast travel. It's sometimes used for inventory management, but the most general use case is fast traveling. For example, in the route when you walk into cliffs, you want to fast travel out and then fast travel back in. With these buttons, that's as simple as opening the fast travel menu and then spamming Downselect, and then opening it again and spamming Upselect. And for example, again, once you walk into lookout point, you can do the same thing. Fast travel out with Downselect and then fast travel back in with Upselect. Those are just examples. There's a lot of other fast travels in the run where you want to go one down or one up, and these buttons are great for that. The other common use case for these buttons is in dialogue. In many dialogue choices in the run, you want to select the bottom option instead of the top option. And instead of moving down the cursor and then hitting confirm, you can just press Downselect. This means, for example, for Glenn's Sleep, where the options are top, bottom that you want to do, I can just spam confirm and then spam Downselect and then spam confirm and then spam Downselect like this. This way I don't have to worry about timing when I have to press down, so that just makes that much easier. So that's the direction select binds. Now I'll show you the item select bind. To bind this, press F1 to bring up the screen again, and you want to bind this to action and items. I personally use C for this, so I'm going to put C here and C here, and then just hit accept. So this is only one button, but it does three different things mainly. First off, you can interact with an object and open the inventory at the same time, like so. Second, you can equip an item and close the inventory at the same time. So, for example, I craft this, and then I equip the branch and close the inventory at the same time. And then the third thing you can do is interact with a door transition and open the inventory at the same time, like this. To properly do that third thing, you need to stop walking before you enter the door and then press the button. If you try to just press the button while holding forward the entire time, it's probably not going to work. While editing this video, I realized something important I forgot to mention. When using Itemselect through a door, you have to stop moving before interacting with the door, but you also shouldn't stop for too long, because if you stop for too long, then you're just losing time. So you need to develop a good timing for this. For example, this is good, and this will be bad. So for some more examples, you can use it twice at the very start of the game here, to pick up the remote and open the inventory, and then equip the remote and close the inventory. Here's an example that covers everything we've talked about so far. This is right after waking up at the Baron's bed. You can use Downselect for the first 6 options and then select on the 7th. Like so. Then you can pick up the pipe, then head left and just up one tile and then stop walking and press Itemselect to open the inventory and go through the door at the same time. And when the inventory is opened, you can press Downselect to equip the rod, and then you can fast travel and use Upselect to go to the outpost. Alright, so that was item select. Now I'll cover the menu direction binds. To bind these, press F1 again, and you want to bind a down menu, a right menu, and an up menu. I personally use Q, W, and E. So I use Q for down end menu, I use W for right end menu, and I use E for up end menu. We would also want to use a left menu, but there isn't space to create that, so we just don't have a left menu button. Anyway, once you have your down menu, right menu, and up menu, just hit accept. Now, what these allow you to do is to walk through a screen transition and open the fast travel menu at the same time. Similar to how you would use item select to open the inventory through a door, you want to stop moving right before the screen transition and then press the relevant button. In this case, up menu, because I'm going up. And that will open the menu while I'm walking through the transition like that. And then I can just use down select to fast travel. The same concept applies to the other two buttons. So for example, here when I walk into a library, I want to stop here and then press right menu. So I can now fast travel to the back alley a little bit faster. And for down menu, it's also the exact same concept. You want to stop walking right before the screen transition and then press the button. So now I can fast travel back to elevator deck a little bit faster. Also, the same thing applies for when you item select to a door. Your timing here needs to be good. You don't want to stop for too long or you're just losing time. For example, this is good timing. And this is bad timing. Each use of this button will have like a visual cue for when you're supposed to stop. For example, for this one, you stop right when this railing touches the top of the screen. But I'm not going to show every single visual cue for every single spot in this video. If you want to see that, that's what the advanced run walkthrough video is for. Yeah, that should be all of the multibinds you need for advanced running, except for the ultra menu button, which we'll cover in the next video. That's all for now. Bye!